Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a man named Jesus. Now, Jesus was a very special man because he was the Son of God. But the people didn't know that. They thought he was just a normal man. But God had a big plan for Jesus. He wanted to go to the big city and start a new church. So, Jesus called his 12 best friends and told them, "I'm going to Jerusalem. Who wants to come with me?" And all 12 of his friends said, "Yeah, let's go to Jerusalem." When they got to Jerusalem, Jesus told his friends, "I have to go to this week's Passover feast. It's a big Jewish holiday where we remember when God freed the Jewish people from slavery in Egypt. We're going to celebrate that God is freeing us from sin by giving his Son as a sacrifice." And the disciples were like, what? But they didn't understand it yet. They would soon. On their way to the temple, Jesus and his friends were stopped by a man named Simon. Simon was a tax collector for the Roman government. He was a traitor. He was also a friend of Jesus, but Jesus didn't know he was a traitor. Jesus said, "Hey, Simon, let's go to your house for dinner tonight. My friends and I are really hungry." And Simon said, "Yeah, I'd love to have you over for dinner. But wait, I owe the Roman government a lot of money, and if they find out I do unpay them, they will put me in prison. So you'll have to pay my debt for me." And Jesus said, "Oh, I don't have any money." And Simon said, "Well, then I guess I'm going to have to go to prison." And Jesus paid his debt for him. And later that night, at Simon's house, Jesus was having dinner with Simon and his friends. And Jesus told them, "You know, it is written in the book of Isaiah that my people are like sheep without a shepherd. They are scattered and lost. But I came to seek and save those who are lost." Then Jesus looked at Simon and said, "Simon, do you know who I am?" And Simon said, "No. Who are you?" And Jesus said, "I am the Good Shepherd. The reason I came into the world was to give my life for the sheep." Then he turned and told all of his friends, "If anyone wants to be my disciple, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." And all 12 of his disciples said, "Okay," except for Peter. Peter said, "No way. I'm not going to take up my cross and follow you. You can do that if you want to, but I'm staying right here." But Jesus said, "Peter, you will deny me 3 times before the rooster crows twice." And Peter said, "No way, I would never do that." But Jesus said, "I'm the Good Shepherd. I came to give my life for the sheep." And then he left. And Peter said to himself, "Wow, maybe I should go with him." But then he thought, "No, I'm not going to take up my cross and follow him." So Peter decided to stay. The end.